The great glass dome of the Galactic Council shook with worried voices. Ambassador Vel, 7, stood near his floating chair, his see-through skin changing colors with fear. The emergency message played again from the speakers. 72 hours, said Council Speaker Mordesh. Her deep voice filled a huge room. That's all the time left for the Zephyrian people on planet Kepler 442. The other aliens in the room made scared sounds. Some clicked their teeth. Others buzzed with their wings. Everyone knew what this meant. The Vorthack have used poison weapons, Mordesh continued. They are killing families. They are killing children. A blue creature with many arms raised one high in the air. This breaks all the rules of war. No one uses poison against innocent people. Admiral Fex Prime, a tall robot with glowing red eyes, stepped forward. His metal feet made loud sounds on the crystal floor. Our spaceships are fighting in the Rigel system. We cannot help the Zephyrians. Our forces are too far away. The room became very quiet. Outside the dome, stars twinkled in the black space. Somewhere far away, people were dying. Vel, 7 looked around the room. His hands shook as he spoke. There might be one way to help. What way? Asked Mordesh. The humans, Vel, 7 said quietly. The room exploded with noise. Creatures jumped up from their seats. Some made angry sounds. Others looked scared. The humans are dangerous, shouted Representative Quinn 8. His bug-like eyes moved in all directions. They fight like wild animals. They fight like nothing we have ever seen, agreed another voice from the back. Vel, 7 waited for quiet. When the noise stopped, he spoke again. But they win their battles, and they hate bullies. We know very little about humans, said Admiral Fex Prime. The few reports we have are strange. Strange how? Asked Mordesh. They do not fight like normal armies. When one human is hurt, all humans become angry. When innocents are attacked, they lose all control. A small green alien near the front spoke up. I met a human trader once. He seemed nice. Very friendly. Yes, they are friendly, said Vel, 7. Until you hurt someone they care about. Then they become something else. Representative Quinn, 8 waved his arms. We cannot trust them. They might attack us too. They have never attacked anyone who did not attack first. Vel, 7 replied. But when someone does attack innocents... He paused. The stories say they do not stop until justice is done. Mordesh looked around the great chamber. Hundreds of different aliens stared back at her. Some had fur. Some had scales. Some were made of metal. But all of them looked worried. What exactly is the Terran Protocol? She asked. Admiral Fex Prime accesses memory files. It was made 50 years ago. A simple agreement. If we ever needed help with something too big for the Council, we could call them once. Once. The humans said they would only answer one call. They said we should make sure it was important. Vel, 7 nodded. This is important. Children are dying. The chamber fell silent again. Everyone thought about the choice. Call the humans and maybe save thousands of lives. Or watch innocent people die because they were too scared to ask for help. The humans scare me, whispered a small voice from somewhere in the room. The Vorthacks scare me more, replied another. Mordesh stood up tall. Her decision was made. Send a message to human space. Tell them innocent lives need saving. Tell them children are being killed with poison weapons. What if they say no? Asked Quinn 8. Vel, 7 looked out at the stars. They won't say no. That's what makes them dangerous. They cannot ignore suffering. The message was typed into the great computer. Simple words that would travel faster than light across a galaxy. Innocent lives at stake. Children dying. Require immediate military assistance. Admiral Fex Prime pressed the send button. The message shot out into space, racing toward the part of the galaxy where humans lived. Now we wait, said Mordesh. How long? Asked someone. The message will reach them in 6 hours, the Admiral replied. Vel, 7 continued to stare at the stars. They will come. I know they will come. How can you be sure? Because, Vel, 7 said softly, humans have a saying. They say that evil wins when good people do nothing. Humans never do nothing. The great chamber slowly emptied as the aliens went to their ships and homes. But Vel, 7 stayed, watching the stars and waiting. Somewhere out there, the message was traveling. Soon, humans would know that children were dying. And then, Vel, 7 thought with mixture of hope and fear. The galaxy would see what humans really were when innocent lives were threatened. The wait had begun. Captain Lee June was drinking his morning coffee when the alarm sounded. He sat up straight in his big chair on the bridge of the U.S. Defiance. This was the best ship humans had ever built for exploring space. A blue light appeared next to him. It looked like a person made of light. This was Aegis, the ship's smart computer. "Captain," Aegis said in a calm voice, "we have an emergency message from the Galactic Council." June put down his coffee cup. The Council never called humans unless something was very wrong. "Show me the message." The words appeared in the air in front of him. June read them twice. His face became very serious. "Sir?" asked Lieutenant Kim Soo from her computer station. She was the one who handled all the ship's messages. "What does it say?" "Children are dying," June said quietly. "Someone called the Vorthak is killing innocent people with poison weapons." The bridge became very quiet. Everyone stopped what they were doing to listen. Dr. Park Hannah looked up from her medical station. She was a ship's doctor and took care of sick people. "Captain, I'm getting more information about these weapons." More words and pictures appeared on the big screen. Dr. Park's face turned white as she read. "These weapons are made to hurt people as much as possible before they die," she said. Her voice shook with anger. "And they're using them on schools and hospitals." June stood up slowly. His hands made fists at his sides. "Captain," said Kim Soo, "the aliens are asking for military help. They say their own soldiers are too far away." June walked to the big window that looked out at the stars. He thought about children screaming in pain. He thought about families being torn apart by poison weapons. "Aegis," he said without turning around, "open a direct line to Earth Command. Use my personal codes." The blue light flickered. "Sir, are you sure? Direct contact with Earth is only for the biggest emergencies." "This is the biggest emergency," June replied. "Do it now." Aegis paused for a moment, then nodded. "Channel open, Captain." June took a deep breath. What he was about to do would change everything. "Earth Command, this is Captain Lee June of the U.S. Defiance. I am using Protocol Omega." Kim Soo gasped. She had heard of Protocol Omega, but never thought she would see it used. It was for when something so terrible happened that every human needed to help. "Sir," Aegis said carefully, "Protocol Omega needs permission from the President of Earth." "Override the rule," June said firmly. "Emergency powers. Innocent children are being murdered." His voice was cold as ice. Everyone on the bridge had never heard him sound like this before. "Aegis, send this message to every human ship in space. Military ships, cargo ships, passenger ships, mining ships. Send it to everyone." "What message, Captain?" June turned to face his crew. His eyes were hard like steel. "They're killing children. All ships go to Planet Kepler, 442 right now." Aegis sent the message. It traveled faster than light to every corner of space where humans lived. "Message sent, Captain," Kim Soo said. Then her eyes went wide as she looked at her screen. "Sir, I'm getting replies already." "How many?" Kim Soo counted the responses coming in. Her mouth fell open. "Sir, this can't be right. I show 3,000 ships responding." 3,000 military ships?" asked Dr. Park. "No," Kim Soo said, still staring at her screen. "All kinds of ships. Battleships, yes, but also cargo ships carrying food. Mining ships that dig for metal. Even vacation cruise ships full of tourists." June smiled for the first time since getting the message. It was not a happy smile. It was a smile of someone who was about to fight. "That sounds right," he said. "Humans don't like bullies." "Captain," Aegis interrupted, "I'm getting a call from Admiral Kim back on Earth. She wants to know why you activated Protocol Omega." "Tell her to watch the news," June replied. And tell her that if she doesn't like what I did, she can court-martial me after we save those children." Kim Soo was still reading messages from other ships. "Sir, the cargo ship Lucky Star is asking what weapons they should bring. The cruise ship Happy Journey wants to know if they should drop off their passengers first. Tell them bring everything they have and come now," June ordered. "Those children don't have time to wait." He walked back to his captain's chair and sat down. "Set course for Kepler 442. Maximum speed." "Yes, sir," called out the pilot. As the ship turned and jumped to faster-than-light speed, June looked out at the stars one more time. "Aegis, send one more message to Galactic Council." "What should it say, Captain?" "Help is coming. Tell them that humanity is on its way." The message raced through space toward the Council. Soon, the aliens would learn what happened when someone hurt human children, even if they weren't really human children at all. War Master Gex looked down at the dying planet below his ship. He was happy with what he saw. The green world that once grew food for many people was now covered in gray poison clouds. Gex looked like a giant lizard walking on two legs. His skin was dark green with sharp teeth that stuck out his mouth. His eyes were yellow and mean. "Tell me how many are dead," he said to his soldier. The soldier looked at his computer screen. "Almost everyone, War Master. 93 out of every 100 people are dead. The rest will die in 6 hours." "Good," Gex said with an evil smile. "Start taking the bodies. We can use their bones and skin for our experiments." Then we attacked the next planet. Suddenly, loud alarms started ringing all over the ship. Red lights flashed everywhere. "War Master," shouted Vex 9 from his computer station. "Ships are coming out of hyperspace." Gex was not worried. "Council peace ships? How many?" "Vex," 9 stared at the screen. His mouth fell open. "Sir, I count more than 2,000 ships, but they're not Council ships." "What?" Gex ran to look at the big screen on the front of his bridge. Space around the planet was filling up with ships. Big ships, small ships, old ships, new ships. Some looked like war ships with big guns. Others looked like the ships that carry food and supplies. What kind of aliens dare to fight us? Gex roared. The answer came from the radio. A calm human voice spoke to every ship in the area. "This is Admiral Parkmeo of Earth. Vortex ships, you have 10 minutes to leave this place and stop killing innocent people. After 10 minutes, we will not be nice anymore." Gex started laughing. It was a horrible sound like breaking glass. "Humans? The Council sent mammals to scare us." His smart officer, Crex Prime, looked at his computer. "War Master, we have 800 ships, including 12 of our biggest battleships. We have better weapons and—" "Wait," Vex 9 interrupted. "Sir, these human ships are strange. I see cargo ships that have military shields. I see passenger ships with big weapons attached. They're all working together like one big army." Gex watched the human ships move around the planet. They didn't move like normal military ships. They spread out in groups that seemed random, but somehow they all fit together perfectly. "It doesn't matter," Gex said. "Fire one shot at their lead ship. Show these mammals what real power looks like." The biggest gun on Gex's ship fired a bright blue beam at the closest human ship. It was a mining ship that dug for metal in asteroids. The beam hit the ship's shields but didn't destroy it. The mining ship just kept coming forward. Admiral Park's voice came over the radio again. His voice was flat and cold like ice. "We saw your warning shot. We don't care. You now have 5 minutes." Crex Prime was reading more information from his computers. His voice was getting scared. "War Master, I don't think these are military ships. This looks like every human ship that could reach this planet." "That's impossible," Gex said, but he didn't sound as sure as before. "No species sends their whole population to fight." "Sir," Vex 9 whispered, "more ships are arriving. Thousands more." More human ships kept appearing out of hyperspace. Big warships arrived next to small family ships. Hospital ships came with construction ships. Even ships full of tourists were arriving with weapons attached to their sides. Gex felt something he hadn't felt in many years. Fear. How many humans are there? He asked quietly. I count over 5,000 ships now. Vex, 9 replied. And more keep coming. Crex Prime looked up from his computers. Sir, I'm reading their communications. They're not following normal military orders. They're all talking to each other like family members. What are they saying? They're sharing pictures of the dead children on the planet below. They're very angry. Gex looked at the timer on his screen. 3 minutes left. Fire all weapons, he ordered. Show them we are not afraid. His ships began shooting at the human fleet, but the humans didn't run away. Instead, they came closer. When human ships got hit and damaged, other human ships moved to protect them. 2 minutes, announced the computer. Admiral Park's voice came one more time. Now it sounded different. It sounded like the voice of someone who was about to do something terrible. Vorthack ships, you have used poison weapons on children. You have killed innocent families. We gave you a chance to leave. 1 minute. Gex watched as every human ship in the area turned to point their weapons at his fleet. Mining ships with drill weapons. Cargo ships with missile launchers. Even luxury cruise ships with guns welded to their sides. 30 seconds. War Master. Vex. 9 said quietly. Maybe we should run away. Gex looked at the thousands of human ships surrounding his fleet. For the first time in his long life as a warrior, he was truly afraid. 10 seconds. The timer reached 0. And then the humans stopped being reasonable. What happened next shocked everyone who saw it. The human ships didn't attack like normal armies. They attacked like angry bees protecting their nest. Captain Oyuna was in charge of a cargo ship called the Second Chance. Her ship was built to carry rice and wheat, not fight battles. But now it had big guns welded to its sides. Attack the ships with poison weapons first, she told her crew. These were not soldiers. They were farmers and teachers and store workers. But they were all very angry. Weapons ready, Captain, said her gunner. He used to fix computers for a living. The battle started, and it was unlike any battle in the history of space. Human ships did things that no civilized army would ever do. Commander Choi Wook's warship was badly damaged and about to explode. Instead of running away, he pointed his ship at the biggest Vorthack battleship. This is for the children, he said calmly to his crew. Everyone to the escape pods. His ship crashed into the enemy vessel. Both ships exploded in a bright flash of light that could be seen from the planet below. On another part of the battlefield, a luxury cruise ship called the Soul Princess was supposed to be full of people on vacation. Instead, it was full of angry humans with guns. The ship's captain saw a small alien refugee ship trying to escape the battle. Vorthack ships were shooting at it. Not today, the captain said. He moved his cruise ship between the aliens and the Vorthack weapons. The enemy guns hit the Soul Princess again and again. Its shields broke. Its hull started to crack. But the captain kept his ship in place until the refugee ship escaped to safety. Captain Zerthak of the alien refugee ship watched this happen. He could not understand it. Why do they die for us? He asked his navigator. We are not their people. The answer came from the human radio channels. Every human ship in the battle was talking to each other. They all said the same things. For the children, they killed kids with poison. Nobody does that to children. Make them pay. Lieutenant Colonel Jung Hai was flying a small fighter ship. A few days ago, it was just a shuttle that carried passengers between space stations. Now it had rockets and guns. She led 20 other small ships into the heart of the enemy fleet. It was very dangerous, but she didn't care. Remember the pictures we saw, she told her pilots. Remember what they did to those children. Her ships dove at the enemy like angry birds. They fired their weapons and flew away before the big ships could shoot back. When one human ship got hit, 2 more took its place. The Vorthack had never fought an enemy like this. These humans fought like every dead child was their own child. War Master Gex was getting scared. His ships were being destroyed by cargo haulers and passenger liners. This was not supposed to happen. Use more poison weapons, he screamed. Show them what happens when they fight us. This was the worst thing he could have done. The moment Gex ordered more poison weapons, Every single human ship in the battle turned to look at his flagship. Thousands of ships, all pointing their guns at him. Admiral Park Miho's voice came over the radio. He sounded very calm, but his words were terrifying. You just used poison weapons again while we were watching. Now this is personal for every human in the galaxy. I hope you are proud of what you have done. What happened next was like watching a star explode. Every human ship fired at Gex's flagship at the same time. Warships fired their biggest guns. Cargo ships fired mining lasers. Even small shuttlecraft fired their emergency flares. The Bone Render, Gex's mighty flagship, disappeared in a ball of fire so bright it hurt to look at. All across the battlefield, Vorthak ships started running away. Their commanders finally understood what they were fighting. This was not a human army. This was an entire species of people who got angry when bullies hurt children. Every human ship captain, every crew member, every person with a gun felt like the dead children on the planet below were their own family. A Vorthak officer on a retreating ship sent a message to his home world. Do not fight the humans. They are not like us. When we kill for profit, they kill for love. When we follow orders, they follow their hearts. We cannot win against an enemy that fights for every child in the galaxy. On the planet below, a few Zephyrian survivors looked up at the lights in the sky. They did not know that ships from a species they had never met were dying to save them. They did not know that somewhere in space, human farmers and teachers and shopkeepers had decided that no one was allowed to hurt children with poison weapons. All they knew was that the poison clouds were clearing, and for the first time in days, they could see the stars. The stars where humans were still arriving to help, even though the battle was already won. 3 days after the big battle, the Kepler 442 system looked completely different. Where once there had been death and poison, now there was hope and healing. Dr. Kim Gina worked in the biggest hospital ship called Mercy's Light. She had not slept in 2 days, but she kept working. The same hands that had fired weapons at enemy ships now gently treated sick alien children. The poison is gone from their bodies, she told the council aliens who had finally arrived. We saved 12,000 people. All the children will be healthy again. Outside the hospital ship, something amazing was happening. Human construction workers were building new homes and schools for the aliens. The leader of the builders was Li Dong, who used to build shopping centers back on Earth. Ambassador Vel, Seven watched the humans work. He could not believe what he was seeing. Warships were bringing food and medicine. Cargo ships were full of toys and blankets for the alien children. I have a question, Vel, Seven said to Admiral Park Miho. How did you get so many humans here so fast? We thought your military was small. Admiral Park was watching human workers build a new playground for alien children. We didn't send our military ambassador. These are just the people who heard about the children and came to help. Just people? Yes. Truck drivers, miners, people on vacation, students, old soldiers, shop owners. Park pointed to a human cooking food for aliens. That man used to bake bread on New Sol Station. That woman there used to count money on Mars Colony. Vel Seven's mind could not understand this. Your normal people fight in wars? Not wars, said Captain Lee Jun, who had come to join them. They fight for innocent people, especially when children are hurt. But this cannot last, Vel Seven said. Surely your real army is still coming, Park said quietly. What you saw was just the first group, the people who could get here in 3 days. Admiral Kim Tae-ho arrived yesterday with more ships. General Yoon Sora will be here tomorrow with her Marines. The biggest fleet from Earth left 2 days ago. Vel Seven's skin turned white with fear. How many more humans are coming? Everyone who can make the trip, Park replied. When someone uses poison weapons on children, all humans take it personally. Just then, the sky filled with more human ships arriving. There were so many ships that they blocked out the stars. This new fleet was even bigger than the one that had won the battle. Lieutenant Commander Song Min ran up to Admiral Park with a computer tablet. Sir, we are getting messages from 17 different Vorthak planets. They all want to surrender. What do they say? Admiral Kim Tae-ho told them what will happen. They must destroy all poison weapons while we watch. They must give us their war criminals for trial. All children in Vortex space must be protected by the Galactic Council right now. Vel, 7 understood that everything in the galaxy had changed. What happens next? Admiral Park looked around at all the human ships. He watched alien children playing with human toys while their parents talked with human doctors. He saw former truck drivers standing guard to keep the refugees safe. Now the galaxy knows the truth, Park said. When innocent people are threatened, humans come to help. All humans. An ambassador? Yes. Humans remember everything. The news about what happened at Kepler 442 spread across the galaxy very fast. Every alien species heard the same story. The humans had not just answered the Council's call for help. They had announced that they were now the galaxy's protectors. On the Altarian homeworld, Council member Kex 5 read the reports with growing amazement. The humans sent their entire civilian population to fight. Not to fight, corrected his aide. To protect children. There's a difference. On the Crystalline Collective's main station, scientists studied the battle recordings. Look at this, one said to another. Their cargo ships fought as hard as their warships. Their passenger liners died to protect refugees. What kind of species does this? A dangerous one, replied his colleague. Dangerous to anyone who hurts innocents. In the Vortex territories, panic spread from planet to planet. Military leaders who had laughed at the idea of fighting soft mammals now begged their governments to surrender before the humans came for them. But on Kepler 442, something beautiful was happening. Zephyrian children who had been dying from poison weapons were now running around playing games with human children who had come on family trips. Alien parents who had lost everything were being helped by human farmers and teachers and shopkeepers. Captain Oyuna, whose cargo ship had fought in a battle, was now using that same ship to bring supplies to refugees. Why do you help us? Asked a young Zephyrian mother. Oyuna smiled and picked up the woman's child, who giggled and played with her hair. Because children should be safe and happy. All children. Everywhere. As more human ships arrived each day, the galaxy began to understand a simple truth. Humanity had not just won a battle. They had declared that no one, anywhere, would be allowed to hurt innocent people while humans existed to stop them. The age of humanity had begun.